I think, God, time flies by. That's 20 years ago this year. There's a reunion dinner in April, I think.
Was there?
April or May. Munster are having one, which will be nice, but like we're in that bracket now, unfortunately, Ross, of reunions and get-togethers and stuff like that.
Join the club.
I think people will remember that 06 one. Obviously 08 was very special as well.
Yeah.
But, people for many, many years to come will remember where they were on that day, and particularly if they're from Munster, obviously. If they're from somewhere else, maybe not. But it was a special day for us, our families, and for all the supporters as well.
Yeah, by 2006, it was a long road travel, it felt, and it was well deserved.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable road as well, though, because people often ask about the disappointments. I think, disappointments in life are, the older you get, you kind of learn that, you can try and learn from them and grow from them. At the time, they don't feel great, whether it's your personal life or your sporting life or your business life. But I think most people have been successful in the world, have had setbacks, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to have setbacks to be successful, because I tell my own son now, you don't have to have pain, misery, misfortune to make it in life or in sport or anything. Sometimes it can help and it can make you strong and it can prepare you for different challenges. Yeah, we had plenty of kind of disappointment and heartache, but we probably, back then we got over it fairly quickly, and it was, summer went pretty quick and there was an excitement about maybe what we could do the following season. And, there were hard luck stories and I suppose the Neil back when in 02, Leicester were a better team than us. We could have kind of got something out of that game. It was quite close. They had a star-studded English team in 2000 against Northampton. It was an unexpected final for us, really. They were probably a little bit battle-hardened. Rog missed a couple of kicks. He often talks about the adversity of that. There was, a couple of semi-finals in there as well. 2001, it was the foot and mouth year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
John O'Neill scoring the try that wasn't given in the corner against Stade Francais in the semi-final. We could have been in another final. So, all of us have different memories of back then, but really enjoyable times as well, though, because, we'd kind of come from very humble beginnings, if you like. As I said, I never dreamed or thought that it was possible to get a career out of rugby. I think when rugby went professional in 95, 96 season, I was in the under-20s, I think, with Shannon. I went on a tour with the senior team to Canada in 96. And, Mick Galway was on the tour, Eddie Halvey, Anthony Foley. They had just come back from a World Cup in South Africa. And I kind of was like, my God, there's a chance to actually get paid to play, to do something I probably would have been doing anyway. Yeah, it was a great journey. It's just at times now you're going, God, where did the time go? But we were very lucky as well. So, when I said we only won two Heineken Cups, they're very special. We could have had another couple, but we learned a lot and we grew together. And that was the special part of being part of a very unique group of people who became friends for life, really. And we had such close bonds and togetherness.
And how do you describe yourself? Are you a pundit now? What is Alan Quinlan now? A former rugby player?
Yeah, I think
in his spare time?
Yeah, well, I haven't picked up the tools probably.
Could you fix your own car?
Yeah, well, all the modern cars are all computerized now, so probably the older models I could, definitely do a bit. I wouldn't like to be stripping down an engine now and trying to concentrate and putting it all back together. But yeah, of course I could. I qualified as a mechanic. I worked in Pierce Motors in Tipperary town. And, everybody knew the Pierce brothers that time. Arthur Pierce was a very famous Walker Cup golfer, most capped Irish amateur golfer. Most people said and thought that he would have gone on to the circuit and went professional and all that. But I still meet Arthur. I still play golf with him. I still meet Jerry.
Did you ever want to, do you think?
I don't know.
Sometimes these golfers are happy at amateur level.
I think so. Maybe back then, Arthur was probably, again, I'm surmising and guessing, and I never really had that conversation with him, really.
Because everybody expected him to go place.
You often hear Pádraig Harrington or Darren Clark have spoken about him over the years, how they were in awe